This is a call for an uprising. We welcome you to today's show and ask those of you who have not subscribed to please subscribe to our YouTube channel as we continue to expose the satanic Illuminati agenda and the ushering in of the Antichrist. I did this in in April. There wasn't a lot of activity in May, but I want to keep exposing the satanic calendar. I mentioned it back then with the Beltane and the spring equinox, how important it is to know these time periods because a lot of satanic activity will be occurring, including kidnapping, abduction, child sacrifice, human sacrifice, rape, orgies, all just the normal things that these sick, perverse lowlifes partake in and get away with on a day-to-day basis because nobody's aware and nobody cares because nobody believes it goes on. So what's coming up is the summer solstice. What's important to remember is that all of these solstices, quote unquote, in the satanic calendar, where there's 4 periods, each are 13 weeks long. The summer solstice, which will begin June 21st or 22nd, it'll run 13 weeks. And it culminates, of course, with the Bohemian Grove at the end of July up in Northern California, where they'll be partaking in their sex orgies and human sacrifice rituals and getting away with it in plain sight out in the open in the middle of the woods like a bunch of perverse sickos that they are. But it's important to know, first of all, 13 weeks. The number 13 is rebellious against God. It's deliberately 13 weeks. It starts the 21st or 22nd, that night or the following morning. And that's because this is when the sun reaches its northernmost point in its journey across the sky. As we know, this is all about sun worship with them. Okay, to them, Lucifer is the sun, is the morning star, the true light. They think opposite. They read the Bible opposite. They're perverse. These people are sick. They're the sickest of the sick. But the 20th, now the 21st is the solstice into the 22nd, but the 20th is the Litha. The Litha for these Satanists is a day of human sacrifice before heading into the feast, which will be the next day for the summer solstice. Now, keep in mind, Wiccans celebrate the same calendar. There are Wiccans who are not violent, who don't believe in this stuff. I'm not supporting it, trust me, at all. Wiccans are absolutely embarrassing. These people are just embarrassing is what they are and what they believe in. It's a total waste of time. But regardless of that, Wiccans and Satanist calendars correlate with one another. The Wiccans truly believe that their holidays are not satanic and these things don't occur, but don't fall for that. That doesn't mean if you know a Wiccan that they're committing human sacrifice on June 20th. The Satanists are, but the Wiccans still partake in celebrating these satanic calendars because the Wiccans are absolutely clueless about what's going on. The majority of them who try to live this life of being, we're pacifist and we enjoy and appreciate nature. They refuse to believe, a lot of them, that Satanism is real, even though they're participating and celebrating satanic holidays, not even realizing what they're doing, just saying, it's the sun, the sun's at its peak on the 21st and then the Litha, and then we're going to celebrate it. These are satanic holidays where human sacrifice occurs. The elitists will be partaking in it starting in June. If you actually look into satanic calendars, there's a bunch online you can find, which all pretty much match up with one another, some of which actually tell you, what type of festivals are going to go on, whether they're orgies or blood sacrifice or human sacrifice. So it's important to remember around that period, the 20th, 21st, 22nd is when it begins. It lasts 13 weeks, like I said. And then when you enter July, there's all sorts of stuff going on in July. There's demon reveals, there's abduction ceremonies, and then, of course, everything culminates with the grand climax, which will be taking place likely up at the Bohemian Club, up at the Bohemian Grove, where you're allowed to get away with murder and raping of children and trauma-based mind control and whatever they want. Because they do whatever they want, because we allow them to do it and get away with it, because nobody stands up against these satanic people who are killing, abducting, and murdering children for ritual sacrifice, because the masses refuse to believe it's going on. Christians refuse to believe it's going on. And like I said, the Litha is a human sacrifice night, which is the 20th, 21st, in that period of time. So again, like I tell you every time when we talk about it, keep your kids and your pets close by during this period of time. Don't listen to what other people say. You could research it yourself. Don't listen if you know a Wiccan and they go, oh, this is ridiculous, because I had tons of Wiccans come over during the Beltane and let me know how the Beltane was this wonderful event, even though we saw some human sacrifice during that period of time, such as Prince and all this stuff that went on. But they want to defend their holidays. They love it. They think that they're wonderful. So these things all correlate. And the summer solstice is another 13-week window you have to be very, very aware and alert of. The 21st, 20th, the evening of the 20th, right? It starts the 21st, the 22nd is the solstice and the feast. Okay, the human sacrifice will likely occur on the 20th with the Litha. And then as you roll into July, there's demonic reveals, demon reveals, where they summon demons during certain, specific days. Then you have the 4th of July, which is 13 days after the Litha, and 66 days from April 30th. So it's another day that's symbolic, because all of this correlates with numbers and numerology. That's how they operate. And like I said, the end of July will be the Bohemian Grove. But during this period, it's important to be aware of what's going on and to know what's going on, because this is spiritual warfare. That's what this is. This is straight up spiritual warfare. And as these people are our enemies, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to say we have no enemies, we love everyone, we have to be friends with everyone. If you want to be lukewarm in your faith, this is not the channel for you. Okay, these people are our enemies. They worship Satan. They are stealing souls from our Father in heaven and leading them into hell, into the abyss, because of the mind control that they have the masses under. And not only that, they're getting away with murder in plain sight and human sacrifice and animal sacrifice. So these people are our enemies. And it's important to know our enemies, right? What's the famous quote from The Godfather? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. It is important to know how their calendar works. You could look and see world events occurring in these windows. Most people out there who are awake, are very aware that something is going down this summer. I know people go, well, everybody says that all the time and then nothing ever happens. That's not true, okay? There's been a ton of world events that have already occurred this year leading up to something big, especially with the elections coming up. And you all know my belief on what's going to happen with the elections. So keep your eyes open during this window. Stay strong in your prayer during this window. Constantly be in prayer, okay? Because this is spiritual warfare. So pray to the Holy Spirit. Keep the Holy Spirit close. Okay, send the Holy Spirit after these people to expose these people so that others can see what's really going on. And we can prevent this from possibly happening on a day-to-day basis. We could hopefully prevent them from abducting children in plain sight and getting away with it, and then selling them, raping them, and auctioning them off like it's no big deal, because these people have no souls. Our enemies, who are Satanists, are soulless. They don't have souls. They don't care about us. They don't care about these innocent children. They don't care about animals. They care about nothing but themselves, their wealth, and how they can appease their hero, Satan, and what they can give and offer to him so that they can have more materialistic nonsense here on earth, because that's what they covet. They have no souls. They certainly have no spines, because they pick on the weak. They prey on the weak. They prey on innocent victims. They prey on children and people who are weak, who they can bully around. And I'm not going to allow them to bully me around. That's for sure. And I hope people out there who are getting hot in their faith aren't going to allow them to bully you around. Because this bullying movement we hear about, oh, we don't want a world of bullies. What do you think that's for? It's to keep everybody weak and in control under their thumb. They don't want you fighting back against this. And we need to fight back against it. We need to expose it. So the solstice is coming up on the 20th with the Litha. These are human sacrifice periods. There's going to be sex orgies and all sorts of stuff that they'll be doing, but they'll be deep in satanic ritual prayer. They'll be summoning demons, and they'll be sending stuff after Christians. Okay, they'll be sending things out into this world. They will be in chant, and they will be in doing all of this bizarre behavior that they do, these ceremonies that they perform. The people that are under attack are us, Christians. That's who they want. They want us, and then they want the innocent souls. So everybody needs to keep their eyes open and stay aware of what's going on. I pray for everybody out there and your families. I hope that these videos are helping people at least see these dates and these time periods and being awake to it. I mean, we just showed the satanic tunnel situation where they did a Baphomet ritual right in plain sight and nobody seems to care. Some people just shrug their shoulders and go, oh, it's an artistic expression. I mean, it's all obvious. It's all in plain sight. The spiritual warfare is out of control right now, okay? And they are doing what they want in plain sight. And we need to get strong in our Bibles. We need to get strong in our prayer, and we need to fight back against it with prayer, because that's how you fight back against it. And we need to grab somebody and say, shake them and say, please, this is what's going on. How can you not see this? Because people should be knowing and seeing what's going on, because they're not hiding it anymore. We're not talking about symbols in music videos that people can't pick up on. We're talking about them actually performing rituals on live TV. When you watch it, you could tell it's a ritual by looking at the Baphomets running around and seeing how they're acting and how they're chanting, yet people don't want to believe it. So during this window, be strong, very, very strong in your prayer and in your faith. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families. May peace be with you.